The Arizona Diamondbacks. Can you believe this, Lee?
It's phenomenal. We're headed to games 3, 4, and 5 in the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix is going crazy because of this baseball team. They are so different. Texas just waits around for home run swings that blow games apart. Arizona just puts the ball in play all over the field and manufactures and creates runs. These teams are so diametrically opposed. It's so opposite ends of the spectrum. It's just absolutely amazing. Tremendous personalities in the Texas dugout, led by the World Series winning manager in Bruce Bochy. A team that collectively is a bunch of young guys enjoying the ride that came together under Torey Lovullo. That's what the Diamondbacks are all about. Huge gamble here. I think the biggest question I have as we go to baseball this week, John, who's going to run out of pitching? Because I think that has now become a real problem for everybody who gets to the World Series. Whose bullpen is going to be able to hold up if the starting pitcher doesn't do really well? And there's a bit of a gamble here with Max Scherzer starting for Texas. He's given up 7 runs in 6 innings. Scherzer had spent a significant amount of time on the disabled list with a forearm issue, then came back, got a cut on his thumb. He is going to throw in game 3 here on Monday night. Whether or not he holds up, how far he goes, and is this the Max Scherzer of old? This becomes a huge issue. So what happens if he can't hold up? They got to dive back into the bullpen, and Texas could be in trouble. Texas has just announced that on Tuesday night, journeyman John Gray is coming out of the bullpen. He's going to be the starting pitcher for the Rangers in game 4. I will say this about Arizona. We knew how competitive Zach Gallen was. I'm amazed at what Merrill Kelly has become. He's got a 2.50 ERA in postseason. As a veteran guy that they found in Japan has really become an established guy. So we'll just have to wait and see how deep these starters can go, because lack of pitching or having to go to the bullpen a lot of times could really swing this whole series. Of course, if Texas swings and hits home runs, maybe it won't be a long series. If Arizona puts the ball in play, as they really have in games 1 and 2, I think this is a fun World Series. I don't know that network TV is getting great TV viewership because it doesn't involve marquee teams, doesn't involve the big markets, but this is kind of cool for 2 really different type teams. Reaction?
So, well, first of all, game 1 was unbelievably entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
With the way that Texas tied it up in the 9th and then won it in the 11th on a walk-off. Now, let's walk back to, I remember the 1975 World Series, Cincinnati, Boston. That's the Carlton Fisk one and everything else. But back in those days, you had a 4-man rotation in the playoffs. And in the World Series, if you were fortunate to get your guys organized, you'd have your number 1 going for game 1, 4, and 7. I don't remember teams back then in the 70s running out of pitchers and having bullpen games in the championship series and the World Series. I mean, do you?
Back in the day, those guys did not throw the wide variety of pitchers that these pitchers throw now. The wear and tear factor on starters. That's why everybody's become a 5 and 6 inning guy, just because of velocity and just the kind of stuff that you're throwing. So I think it's a different era. And John, with apologies, pal, you're talking about 50 years ago. We're not talking about 3 weeks ago on Sunday.
Well, even Jack Morris, remember he went 10 innings in game 7 when he was pitching for the Twins back then, right? No, was the Tigers or the Twins? Both. Yeah, the Tigers in 84 and the Twins in 91 or something. But you know who I love in this whole thing? Tommy Pham, man. 4 for 4. I mean, he's crushing it. That's the Tommy Pham we thought we got when we signed him here in San Diego or traded for him.
Well, that's Tommy Pham that showed those flashes in St. Louis, did it a little bit in Tampa, hardly did it at all in San Diego, and has moved a couple more times before he wound up in Phoenix. So enjoy what you can enjoy in this 2-week quadrant with Tommy Pham, because the one thing his career has shown, what he does now, he probably won't be doing in 2 weeks from now. And then you got all the other subservient issues to deal with. So we got Arizona, we got Texas. This, I think it's been a fun playoff series. I think it's going to be a fun World Series. So by next Monday, when we do our bonus podcast, we may be talking about the official off-season hot stove league of baseball, because the whole world becomes free agents the night the World Series ends.
Mhm.
So let's talk about topic 2